Okay, I am back with Mark and Delicato, and we have a group of teens here. These teens are gay and lesbian teens. They're out about it, they talk about it. They also talk about what has happened along this journey, what their life has been like. Isaiah is here, James is here, Sarah is here, Claudia, Nicholas, and Jake. Also with us, we have Charles Robbins from the Trevor Project. We have Perry Aftab, and we have Lonnie Coombs, who is our legal correspondent, and Nina is here, a friend of Tyler Clemente. So we're just going to kind of continue this conversation. James, let's start with you. What do you want to say?
Well, I just think, I remember you mentioning something about, the humiliation in school and Tyler Clemente. And I remember one instance when I was on the school bus going to school one day, and we were talking about the upcoming prom. And I remember, and some kid just turned to me out of the blue and said, "You're not going to take a boy to prom, are you? Because that would be really weird." And I know it's a much less severe case, but I think it's just that same kind of feeling of being put down and being humiliated and being targeted specifically because of who you are. Or, I think it's the same kind of that feeling that it gives.
But
these kids.
here's the question I've got, and this is not just for you, for all of you. When this has happened, did you go to an adult? Because I saw a stat one time that bothered me. Charles, you probably have a much more up-to-date number on this than I do, but I read a study that said 86% of gay and lesbian teens said they did not have one adult supporter that they could identify in their school situation. Not what 86% said they had not one adult that they felt safe talking to.
That's right, and they generally report that that the school environment, from the help seeking that they have seen, they didn't feel comfortable in any kind of disclosure around sexual orientation at all.
What's an interesting thing to take from this too is that we as fellow teens really should take this to heart ourselves. We should become allies ourselves and allow other students to come talk to us. I mean, whether it be just being a positive, open person, or doing something like starting a gay straight alliance club in your own school, or there's a number of things that you can do as a student yourself to help alleviate tensions that someone may be feeling.
When you got these letters that you got based on the character you played on Ugly Betty, Mark, did you answer them? What did you say to them? How did you support them?
I didn't know exactly how I could support them without just saying, this does get better, and you have to talk to someone, whether it's a friend, a teacher, going, joining the Gay Straight Alliance Club in your school, if that's even offered, or going to a group where, teens can talk to each other. Because I think that, like you said, is one of the main issues, that these teens don't have anyone to talk to, and they're left there contemplating themselves, which often can lead to much more serious matters like suicide.
And you said you had funny feelings about playing this character.
Mm-hmm.
What went through your mind when somebody said, okay, here's a great show, it's going to be on network, it's going to be ABC, but you're going to play a gay teenager?
They didn't tell me about becoming an actual gay teen and actually exposing that until our last season, which was season 4. And when we were discussing about how we were going to handle it, the only funny feelings is that we weren't going to do it in the right way or make it seem real enough, because I didn't want this to be, the dramatized television version that no one in the world or no teen can ever relate to. So that was one of the biggest issues that I had, and luckily, we did come out with a fabulous product that, speaking to all of these guys about it, they said that these dramatized situations actually do happen, which I was, kind of pleased and to hear that, we could reach out like that.
Sarah, what do you want to say?
I just think that if everyone standing by has the attitude that Dion had, that, you're just going to walk away, there's going to be no one left. In my situation, the bullying never happened to my face. It happened very indirectly. It was through MySpace. It was, texting me, calling me. And my entire graduating class from middle school knew that this was happening, and not one person felt bad about it. No one felt, no one felt the guilt to take this to their parents. This is what's happening. Everyone is going after her. What can I do to stop this? I mean, this was a Christian middle school, and I mean, I wasn't the kid that had all these friends or whatever. I was the new kid, but the fact that no one had enough respect for me to go to their parents and say, you know what, this has gotten way out of control. This is what's happened. What can we do to stop this?
Well, what was happening? What did they say to you? What did you get
My
on
graduation
internet
day-
or whatever?
My graduation day, a girl sent around a text to her friends saying that I was a lesbian, which I had confided in one person at that school and she had overheard. Well, then those 10 friends or whatever then sent that text to 10 of their own friends. And as you can see, it spiraled, and I showed up on my graduation day and every single person had read this, and every single person, either gave me dirty looks or, made comments about, I was a dyke or I was a freak. And they ruined my graduation day. I sat in fear because I was pretty sure that if a teacher or an administrator found out, I wouldn't be allowed to walk at my graduation because it was a Christian school. And then from graduation day, it turned to harassing messages and comments on my MySpace profile. I finally had to delete it because, it was a knock to my self-esteem to, log on to a place where I was supposed to be able to connect with my friends and see these things.
What would they say on your
They
Facebook?
would tell me that I was going to burn in hell, or that I was a freak, or, one kid said randomly that he hoped I was struck down by lightning. And, it was middle school, and, part of me looks back and, maybe I could have brushed some of it off, but I went into high school not being able to trust anyone.
Did you talk to your parents about it?
I wasn't out to my family at this point, and I wasn't confident enough in myself or the fact that they would take it well to go to my parents and say, this is what's going on.
But see, Perry Charles, this is what scares me as the perfect storm. Because here you have someone that's been outed in the school. You're not out to your parents. You're getting bombarded. You're getting in fear. This, to me, is the perfect storm.
It's the perfect storm not only because of technology, but also youth are identifying with being lesbian, gay, bisexual much earlier in life. And so you actually have more of a complex problem.
Well, on the technology here, it made it so easy for people to attack her. And the fear that that could leak back to her parents when she wasn't out of there, or to the administration that wouldn't let her walk on graduation. It's that fear of what happens next. That's what happens. One thing turns into hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, that's just, Claudia?
And jumping on what Sarah said, I really don't think that we should be fighting hate with hate, because you hear out there, that's so gay, faggot, whatever. And in Sarah's case, she was being constantly called names like lesbian, dyke, right? And I mean, people out there are saying, damn straight, and then that's just, not appropriate, because we're also targeting them as LGBTQ teens. Or even if you are straight, I mean, that's just, we shouldn't be targeting any sexuality at all. And especially, I was sort of in Sarah's situation. I was being called a lot of names and physically harassed. And one day, this boy who really wasn't nice to me at all was kind of in a rough situation, and I kind of talked to a teacher for him. And all of a sudden, he was just a lot nicer. I could have sat there. I could have said, hey, well, you've been so mean to me. I don't think that you deserve help. And I could have, not given it to him. But because I did, things really took a turn for the better.
The thing that gets me is we've got kids that feel they have nowhere to go, so they're emailing you, who's playing a character on a television show. Not even a real person, but they're reaching out to you in that role, presumably instead of their parents. I mean, it certainly sounds like it. Lonnie, is there some middle room here without taking away people's First Amendment rights to say what they want, but yet hold them accountable if they're terrorizing someone?